What if I told you the next generation of soldiers might not breathe, blink, or beg for mercy, and they're already being trained for the front lines? China is building a digital army designed to cross mountains, climb rooftops, and slip under doors while humans watch from a safe distance. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on the machines that make that possible. A mechanical yak that hauls 160 kilograms through snow, a gun dog that can be dropped on a rooftop, a mini tank that disarms bombs, and a rolling eye that can spy where no human can fit. And because this isn't a sci-fi trailer, I'll show you real specs, real roles, and how all these pieces could lock into one unstoppable war machine. Ready? Let's go. Imagine a patrol at 4,500 meters. Thin air biting your lungs, wind slicing across a ridge. You and your unit are moving light, but your gear isn't. That's where China's mechanical yak shows up. It's a four-legged, yak-inspired bionic robot built for the worst ground you can find. Steppes, trenches, cliffs, muddy roads, grassland, deserts, snowfields, forests, even the high plateau border zones you see in the news. It carries up to 160 kilograms and still hits around 10 kilometers per hour, thanks to 12 joint modules that let it walk, sprint, turn, move diagonally, jump, and dash without face planting. Think of it like a tireless pack mule with a ruggedized brain. Its core mission is logistics: food, munitions, batteries, plus close-in recon where trucks can't go, but analysts already whisper about weapon mounts, making it a ground drone that doesn't need a road. In short, it's built to follow soldiers anywhere soldiers can go, and plenty of places they can't. But here's the crazy part. The mechanical yak isn't the star of the show, it's the warm-up act. Because China's digital army isn't just pack animals, it fights. Picture a quadruped trotting across broken concrete, pausing at a parapet, then bracing. On its back, QBB-97 light machine gun, the 5.8 by 42 millimeter drum-fed version soldiers already know, capable of roughly 650 rounds per minute with an effective range around 400 meters. This armed robot dog, tied to Kestrel Defense's Blood Wing concept, is designed to be airdropped by a medium red wing forward drone so it lands where humans can't. Rooftops, alleys, spots behind lines. From there it can suppress, scout, and coordinate with other robots in a 3D pincer while you control it from cover. It's not autonomous trigger pulling yet. Remote operation is the design baseline. But the tactic is unmistakable. Unmanned teaming, where a drone delivers a gun dog to a vantage point faster than infantry could ever climb. That's urban warfare rewritten for machines. Now breathe for a second and think through the implications. An airdropped gun dog that can shoot while moving, work tight corridors, and crawl where a human can't is basically a Lego block for city combat. Add optics and a 4D perception stack and you've got a scout that doesn't get tired. Add a drone on Overwatch and you're running a 2-robot fire team. Some variants even swap the LMG for a QBZ-95 rifle or a launcher for smoke or loitering munitions. The platform is still experimental, with real questions about robustness under jamming, debris, and water. But the concept evolved in public, and that's the tell. This is a test you run before you scale. Of course, not every BattleBot needs to carry a gun. Some need to carry your luck. Enter the EOD robot, the tracked mini-tank you send toward anything that looks like a bomb. It's simple on purpose. Treads for rough ground, a mast camera so operators can see, a remote link so humans stay back, and a multi-joint arm that can lift, grip, cut, and place. The toolbox is serious: disruptors, cutters, probes, and when needed, a small shaped charge to neutralize the threat from a distance. These units are compact enough to snake into cars, basements, and tunnels. They're being mass-produced inside China, increasingly with smarter navigation, so operators can focus on the delicate work while the robot handles the drive. The mission statement fits on one line: let the machine take the risk, not the human. Now for the robot that doesn't walk at all. It rolls like a secret. Think of a sphere slipping under a door, gliding across tile with a hush. China has fielded ball-shaped security robots for patrol work, rounded bodies that can roll, right themselves, and transmit what they see. In urban ops, that form factor is lethal for intel. It squeezes into vents, dives under furniture, and goes places even a rat would hesitate. Police pilots in China have already used spherical patrol bots for surveillance with features like facial recognition and non-lethal pursuit tools. Swap the badge for a camo skin, and you can imagine the same chassis scouting tunnels or stairwells before a team stacks on a door. It's the kind of platform you'd miss until it's too late, because by the time you hear it, it's already watching. Let me stitch the picture wider. A mechanical yak for loads and long hauls. A gun dog for rooftops and alleys. An EOD mini-tank when the floor hums suspicious. A rolling eye for the cracks and corners. That's a ground squad with no pulse, and we're not done. China's playbook goes broader with humanoids, swarms, and even autonomous ships and subs. In the humanoid category, Chinese companies are rapidly building robots intended for patrols, logistics, and eventually more. You've seen police-scale units on city streets, around 1.38 meters tall, taking voice input and handling routine crowd tasks. At the high end, production lines are ramping for bipedal machines that can handle manipulation, navigation, and long-hour shifts without fatigue. Civilian first? Sure, but doctrine is military-civil fusion, and the line between lab, street, and barracks blurs fast. Meanwhile, swarms are the connective tissue. CETC has already demoed mass launchers for fixed-wing drones, dozens at a time from trucks and helicopter bays, and the PLA used drone swarms in amphibious landing drills back in 2021, handling recon, interference, and even suicide strikes. Think about what that means when you mix air swarms with ground robots. The sky finds and blinds. The ground moves in. One state test fired 48 small drones in a single ground launch. Other setups push the concept into the hundreds. This is how you saturate sensors, confuse defenders, and roll right up to the objective with machines that are cheap enough to lose and smart enough to try again. And then there's the ocean, because battles aren't just sidewalks and stairwells. China's planning includes massive autonomous exploration submarines, ocean gliders that sip power and listen for days, and even concepts for stealthy, unmanned warships that can operate for months. One flying drone carrier unveiled in 2025 boasts a 25-meter wingspan and a 16-ton takeoff weight, so it can lift and release waves of coordinated drones mid-mission, a mothership in the sky. Undersea, that Sea-Wing glider fleet charts currents, salinity, and the contours submarines hide behind, data that quietly rewrites the map for anti-submarine warfare. Stack all that alongside land robots and swarms, and you start to see the real plan. A layered web of sensors and shooters where the first soldier on scene is a machine. But here's the twist that should keep every planner awake. Most of these systems don't need to be perfect. They just need to be many. Robot dogs working in pairs. Yak mules in convoys. Ball scouts sprinkled through an apartment block. Drones in the dozens, then in the hundreds. If one fails, the next rolls in. The cost curve favors the side that can build more, not the side that fields one exquisite machine. And as more of these platforms get quietly threaded with smarter navigation and decision support, the human has less to do moment to moment. That's efficient, until it isn't. Let's loop back and put hard numbers on each piece because I promised concrete specs. The mechanical yak, up to 160 kilograms carried, roughly 10 kilometers per hour top speed, 12 joint modules enabling diagonal gates and jumps, designed specifically for everything from snow to rock to desert. Role: border patrol and logistics with a side of recon. Risk: if armed, it becomes a roaming ground drone with serious endurance. The Bloodwing Gun Dog, QBB-97 LMG in 5.8 by 42 millimeters, approximately 650 rounds per minute, approximately 400 meters effective range. Airdrop insertion by Red Wing forward drone. Remote control baseline. Urban rooftops and indoor corridors favored. Risk: experimental robustness, but conceptually sound for 3D city fights. Other variants include QBZ-95 and smoke or loitering munitions. EOD bot. Tracked chassis, masked camera, long-reach arm, carries cutters, disruptors, and can emplace a small explosive charge to neutralize devices. Small enough for cars and tunnels, mass-produced with AI-assisted movement appearing in newer versions. Mission: Keep humans away from blast radius. Spherical patrol recon, already used with police in China, can patrol, recognize faces, and even assist in pursuits depending on configuration. Military versions would serve as stealthy rolling cameras in tunnels, bunkers, and crawl spaces, places where a wheelbase or a legged robot won't fit. But here's the crazy part you can't unsee after today. None of these platforms operate alone in the vision Beijing is pursuing. The phrase is military-civil fusion. You test robot dogs at a defense expo, you patrol a district with a humanoid police unit, you roll spherical security bots on a city beat, and the lessons bleed into military doctrine overnight. Procurement scales, software hardens, and the civil and dual-use flips whenever needed. That's why you see exoskeletons moving kit in Tibet at 4,500 meters and sharp claw reconnaissance UG-5s in service roles since 2020. This is what a pipeline looks like when the state can move ideas from street to soldier without friction. Now I can hear the pushback. How much of this is real today? Fair. Some pieces are prototypes, some are fielded in drills, and a few are already standard kit. But the direction of travel is unmistakable. The PLA ran drone swarms in amphibious exercises in 2021. It tested ground and air swarm launches that mass 48+ units at a time. It's exploring autonomous ships and subs designed to loiter for weeks. It's buying and adapting commercial quadrupeds into rifle carriers for joint exercises abroad. Footage you can actually find from 2024. The lesson? If you want a preview of tomorrow's battlefield, watch the exercises, not the parade. Here's where it all converges. Picture a border clash in winter. Mechanical yaks bring ammunition and batteries up a ridge, no vehicles required. A drone swarm scouts the next valley while a few units dive to shred jammers and sensors. A blood-winged dog gets dropped on a rooftop to hold a stairwell with suppressive fire, while an EOD mini-tank clears a booby-trapped hallway. Spherical bots roll down a ventilation shaft to map the building. Meanwhile, a humanoid logistics unit shuttles, crates, and ladders, while a police model derivative handles crowd control in the rear. Every piece is cheaper than a tank tread and, crucially, replaceable. That's not sci-fi. It's a system of systems you can assemble from parts we just walked through. Before we close, a reality check. The armed dog platform has unknowns: jamming, debris, weather, battery swap rates, and how it handles real-world chaos. The yak's payload and speed are impressive, but convoy doctrine, refuel logistics, and noise signatures matter. Swarms are powerful, until an EW bubble fries their links. And autonomy on the battlefield isn't a switch you flip. It's 1,000 brittle edge cases you grind through. Even so, the pace is accelerating because each exercise adds data, each pilot adds training sets, and each export partner adds money. That flywheel is why this story doesn't slow down. So where does that leave us? With a simple, uncomfortable question. Are these machines the future defenders? Or the future threat? If you're excited by the logistics miracles and the life-saving EOD work, you're not wrong. If you're chilled by rooftop gun dogs and silent rolling eyes, you're not wrong either. What we do know is this: the side that masters the stack, mule, dog, mini-tank, sphere, humanoid, swarm, wins the tempo of the fight. And in modern war, tempo is everything. If you learned something today, hit subscribe, drop your take in the comments. What would you fear most on a future battlefield? And share this with a friend who still thinks robots are just for warehouses. Because once you see the pieces together, you can't unsee the army they become.